What's up guys, Deroir here and welcome to the 10th episode of Hype Time. So last week I decided not to partake in the hype about the YouTubers embargo lift and packs with a video, since personally I didn't know shit about it and I wasn't just gonna snatch all of my fellow YouTubers content. But I did leave a ton of links down in the description for those of you guys who might have missed some of the really cool and interesting interviews from last week. Well, that aside, two separate subjects actually came up last week, both of which I really want to talk about. But unfortunately I've been delayed till now due to sickness, and so I apologize if my voice is a little bit off. Anyways, the things I'm referring to are namely that the beta signups are live now, and also we got a very short new trailer for the upcoming World vs. World. But since I'm fairly sure that the rest of this entire week is going to consist of World vs. World information, I'll hold off on the second subject. And so what I really want to do here is talk and discuss with you guys about the closed beta testing. First off, let's get the facts straight. Since last Friday, the beta signup started, and basically all you have to do is sign up for the newsletter. Then you'll also be listed for a chance at a possible beta test spot. They'll draw their initial pool of testers from among active players and loyal customers. So if you've been playing Gw2 2 for a while, be sure to sign up with the email address that you use on your regular account. That way ArenaNet could potentially monitor your activity levels when deciding on testers. One other fact that I'm quite excited about is that there will be no non-disclosure agreements for these beta tests. Those of you who are selected as testers will be free to talk about your experiences and to post streams and videos of the content you play. And so no matter if you get in or not, there should be quite a few streamers and YouTubers ready to share their experience with the unfortunate curious ones. I think it's important to note that all of these closed beta tests won't consist of the entire Heart of Thorns game, but rather cut up sections throughout the game so as to focus the testers' attention on very specific areas. Obviously, a lot of players are very excited to get their hands on this, but at the same time, it seems that quite a few players are very much against it. That, or they're just too self-centered to share the opportunity with everyone. No offense. Now, one guy on Reddit made a comment that resonated with me after I signed up. He said that you only have one first impression of anything, and while that's true, the question that then remains is, do I want this unfinished and perhaps poorly polished version of the game to be my first impression and my basis for my entire outlook on the coming expansion? Just to give you a personal example, I myself along with my guild did get to play a few of the beta events for the Edge of the Mist map. I initially went into it with the same pseudo-adventurism mindset that I enjoy so much when going into any RPG game. The map was quite cool for a while, and I knew that eventually this was going to be part of the game that I was so heavily invested in, but I couldn't just focus on exploring and enjoying the content. Very quickly I digressed into a purely analytical mindset, which to me turned this new and cool thing into a heartless object. And eventually when the actual map then launched in game, I then knew most of the funny sides to it. I was familiarized with some of the things that were cut and would likely never return. And to me, it had really lost a huge chunk of this feeling of adventure that I seek so much in this. Just because I had been around when the weird quirks of this map were tested, what was launched felt like it was stripped of the initial excitement, even though the map is gorgeous and detailed. ArenaNet even went the extra mile of adding actual story to the launch of the map, probably to increase the chance of sparking an interest for everyone, even the people that might have lost interest in the testing phase. As for testing other aspects of the game, I never actually got the chance to play the beta for Gw2 2. I started playing once the head start went live and I haven't stopped since. But that means I never personally experienced the thoughts and mechanics that initially went into making the game that I'm so heavily invested in right now. To this day though, more than 2 years after the initial launch, we still see the occasional post or comment along the lines of, well, in beta they actually did this a lot better, or they actually had this feature in beta, and so on. Yeah, well, I know my thoughts on this subject are a bit far out perhaps, but if you're still listening, perhaps you're of a somewhat similar mindset. The thing is, testing a completely new game is one thing. Testing material for a game you're already heavily invested in will leave you very biased and could therefore easily leave you somewhat disappointed once you actually get your hands on the final product. I know we're all super hyped to actually see the features that are going to be in the expansions for ourselves, and as I said, I obviously signed up for the closed betas. I gotta get in on this, fingers crossed. That said, I do urge you guys to keep all of these things in mind when deciding whether or not to sign up. Is it worth it, or would you rather have the final version of Heart of Thorns once it ultimately launches? I would really love to hear your guys' opinion on this. Are you going to sign up, or have you already? Tell me why or why not in the comment section down below. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time, I will see you in the mists.